Chapter 22 begins. Takwon tells Takizo that the cinema tech who was killed today, the village needs to know about this, especially to let them understand. And that's exactly what happened. He advised Takizo never to reveal where he came from, and always keep Miyamoto Village alive within himself. From this day forward, he will be known as Miyamoto Musashi. And so, Takizo begins his new life with his new name, Miyamoto Musashi. Several years after this incident, he has arrived in Kyoto City, a well-known metropolis. Everyone there knows him, though people think he's crazy. They can't understand what he's doing wandering around with a wooden sword. Musashi is very curious because he knows that Yoshioka Sword School is extremely famous. Even in Miyamoto Village, people talk about it. The Yoshioka style, Yoshioka School, Musashi thinks he shouldn't be afraid. While contemplating this, he encounters a boy on the road playing with several girls, clinging to them and tickling them. Seeing the sword at the boy's side, Musashi wonders what kind of samurai he is. As Musashi walks away, a girl comes up behind him, trying to cling to him. When Musashi turns to look at her, the girl becomes frightened by his gaze. The boy notices Musashi and asks if he's in training and heading toward Yoshioka School. He advises Musashi that if he were in his position, he wouldn't do it. If Musashi looks at them with those blue, fierce eyes, they'll kill him. Musashi tells the boy he's ready to die, but has no intention of dying. The boy suddenly places a sword at Musashi's throat, shocking him. The boy gives him a warning and sheathes his sword again. Seeing this, the girls scatter, telling Musashi they're sorry. The boy is also drunk. Musashi stands there frozen as this incident makes his heart pound violently. The boy also leaves. The girls tell him that wasn't right, and they were very scared. The boy tells the girls he's bored with them and is going to meet someone named Kimi. This boy is Yoshioka Sejiro, who Musashi had been thinking about just moments ago. Musashi sits in a shop. The shopkeeper, serving him tea, asks where he's from. Musashi tells him he's from Miyamoto Village and has come to challenge Yoshioka School. The owner tells him Musashi seems crazy. Yoshioka School is a major sword school, and anyone who challenges him does return safely. It's been many years since anyone foolish enough has tried to challenge them, and with just a wooden sword? That's pure stupidity. He advises Musashi to forget about it. Despite hearing this advice, Musashi heads to Yoshioka School. Standing before the school, he thinks about his goal to become invincible under the sun and achieve this through the sword. The Yoshioka style won't help. Only Miyamoto Musashi will. Musashi enters the school and announces that he is Miyamoto Musashi and has come to challenge Yoshioka Sejiro. The school fills with disapproval, and hearing this, all the disciples start laughing at Musashi. Then one of them speaks up about this country bumpkin's audacity. Chapter 23 begins. A disciple tells him that a person named Musashi with a wooden sword has come to the dojo. His hair is wild, his clothes are dirty, and he looks like he's from the countryside, wanting to become a swordsman. Yudita tells the disciple to chase him away. The disciple tells Yudita that Musashi has come to challenge Sejiro. Yudita thinks Musashi must be out of his mind. Yudita asks where Master Sejiro is. The disciple tells him the master has gone to the brothel. Yudita thinks about what this says about the school's reputation with such a master. Yudita goes to meet Musashi and introduces himself. Musashi gives his introduction as well, saying he's come from Miyamoto Village. Yudita is shocked. He tells Musashi that if he wants to challenge the master, he must first defeat the disciples to prove himself. Master Sejiro doesn't waste his time. Yudita adds that if he's truly capable of fighting, he'll fight him. And after defeating him, they'll decide what to do with his body. Musashi asks Yudita if, after defeating him, he can fight Sejiro. Hearing this, all the disciples in the dojo are shocked. After hearing this, Yudita says he has to admire Musashi's confidence. Musashi says if he dies, they can throw his body in the river or do whatever they want. He doesn't care. Now Musashi is surrounded by disciples from all sides, all glaring at him angrily. At this time, Master Sejiro is entangled with a woman named Okimi, lying in her arms. He asks if he can put his hand inside. Okimi thinks he always talks like this, but never actually does anything. He's not a real man. She wants to run away from Kyoto with Seijiro. Okimi says that as the great Yoshioka Seijiro, he shouldn't talk like this. Then we see another person sitting in the brothel. His name is Koji. He's also a senior disciple of Yoshioka School, waiting for his turn with Okimi. Okimi calls Koji inside to spend time with her. Another person is listening to all this while sitting in another room. He thinks about Okimi planning to seduce Koji. He goes to the other room and finds Okimi clinging to Koji, which makes him very sad. Then we discover this person is none other than Matahachi, who had run away from Takezo with Okimi. Knowing he can't compete with Koji, Matahachi forcibly drags Okimi away. He tells Okimi she's made a mockery of her husband. Why doesn't she do other work? Okimi pushes him away, asking if he's become impotent, if he's forgotten whose food he eats. He's become a drunkard. After Sekigahara's battle, he's been living off Okimi and her money. She calls him a country bumpkin who should have no problem working hard for little money. If Okimi wants to leave him, she can. Matahachi storms out, crying. He wishes he had never left his village that day. He remembers how different his life would have been with his friend Takezo and Yoshioka. He knows now it's impossible. Walking down the road, he ends up in front of Yoshioka's school. Seeing the school, he thinks about Koji, how he must be enjoying himself with Okimi. He thinks he'll set the school on fire. Just then, he hears the sound of fighting from inside the school and falls to the ground. He can't understand what's happening inside. Inside, Musashi is fighting Yoshioka school disciples and has already killed 3 with his wooden sword. Chapter 24. Musashi has sent disciples to their deaths. Seeing this, another disciple attacks, but Musashi doesn't even move from his spot. The disciple strikes several blows at Musashi, who easily dodges them. Musashi thinks his disciple is too slow. Is he even serious? Though they're practicing with wooden swords, there's still a life-threatening danger. He finds his disciple weak and knocks him down with a single strike, defeating him. Yudita watches all this from a distance. Then a disciple says someone was careless. That's why he was defeated. They shouldn't underestimate Musashi. A samurai's duty is to fight with everything they have, even if it costs their life. This becomes a matter of pride. After this, both prepare to fight. They glare at each other. The disciples think this time Musashi is done for, but Musashi kills his disciple too. Matahachi stands outside the school listening to the sounds. He understands someone is challenging Yoshioka's school alone, and it seems he's already killed 5 disciples. He thinks Yoshioka School isn't what it used to be. It's running only on the name of its founder, Yoshioka Kempo. The current head, Seijiro, is a loser who spends all day clinging to Okimi, and the senior disciple Koji is busy with Okimi as well. He says he doesn't know who's fighting Yoshioka's school, but he prays they destroy it completely. Just then, a person approaches Matahachi and asks what he's doing there. Seeing him, Matahachi becomes frightened and tries to run, but the person trips him. He asks Matahachi who he is and what he's doing there. Matahachi is terrified because he knows this person is Yoshioka Denshikaro, Seijiro's younger brother, completely different from his brother. Denshikaro should have been the head of Yoshioka's school. Matahachi tells Denshikaro he was just passing by when he heard strange sounds from the dojo. He thought there might be an emergency, so he came to inform the master. Matahachi tells him Seijiro is at the brothel. Hearing this, and learning Matahachi is the brothel owner, Denshikaro punches Matahachi and knocks him down. He remembers his brother, and thinks a man like that can never be the head of Yoshioka's school. In the dojo, chaos continues. Musashi has now killed 5 to 7 disciples, which has increased his confidence. He believes he can defeat Yoshioka. Chapter 25. Musashi thinks he can defeat Yoshioka's school, that his skill can compete with the best. Then Yudita comes to fight him. Musashi asks who his teacher is. Musashi says no one, though it's thanks to his father, Shimin Munisai. Besides his father, the mountains have been his teachers. Hearing Munisai's name, Yudita is shocked. The disciples think they shouldn't believe it. He's just a country bumpkin with no real teacher. The disciples think Yudita is Denshikaro's equal and has similar skill. He's the school's founder's top disciple. And when he was a disciple, it seemed Yudita would become the head of Yoshioka's school. Yudita remembers the founder, Yoshioka Kempo. He thinks Musashi, being Shimon Munasai's son, could create problems for Yoshioka's school. Musashi attacks Yudita. Yudita underestimates Musashi, thinking he should at least injure one of his hands. He blocks Musashi's attack and gets a sense of Musashi's power. He understands this much power could split anyone's head open. Musashi asks Yudita what rank he holds, where he would rank among Kyoto's fighters. He explains he came from a village to Kyoto because there are many famous fighters here. His plan is to defeat Kyoto's strongest fighter. Musashi doesn't fully understand. Musashi says he knows Yudita is strong, and when he defeats him, he'll be that much closer to becoming invincible under the sun. Then Densha Kairo enters the school. He says, "How dare someone come here and talk about becoming invincible under the sun?" He thinks the school's reputation is being ruined because of his brother Seijiro. If it were up to him, he'd fight. He tells Yudita he's too soft, probably planning just to injure Musashi, but Musashi won't stop there. Densha Kairo says he won't let anyone disgrace Yoshioka School's honor, and he'll kill Musashi himself. Musashi realizes Densha Kairo is Seijiro's brother and challenges him directly. Musashi's reckless behavior angers the disciples even more. They tell Musashi to learn some manners. Densha Kairo is the school's head. Musashi thinks he knew that and reintroduces himself. Densha Kairo reveals his identity, introducing himself as the school's head. He accepts the challenge and tells a disciple to give Musashi a sword. Just then, Yudita steps between them. He says ultimately, Yoshioka School depends on him, and he won't interfere. Yudita tells Densha Kairo he shouldn't fight Musashi. If he wants to defeat Musashi, Yudita himself will kill him. This will all be handled internally. Okimi is listening to all this from behind. Then someone says, "What nonsense! Since we're their two masters of Yoshioka School." Then we see Seijiro has returned from the brothel. Musashi is shocked to see the boy there. Chapter 26. Seijiro has arrived. Musashi learns this is the same boy he met on the road. All the disciples bow before Seijiro with respect. Musashi is surprised by the reaction to this boy. Seijiro tells Musashi that despite his warning, he still came here. Hearing this, Densha Kairo asks if he knows Musashi. Seijiro tells him he met him on the road. Musashi remembers his encounter with Seijiro. Matahachi is listening to all this from outside. He thinks first Densha Kairo and now Seijiro have arrived, and it seems someone has defeated Yudita, with some people already killed. He wonders if that samurai will escape alive. Matahachi thinks about what he's doing there. If they find him, he'll be killed. He should go home. But after such humiliation, he doesn't want to return to Okimi either. Seijiro comes over to Musashi's side and offers him sake. He tells Musashi to drink the sake and go home. He says Musashi, being a country bumpkin, doesn't know how to appreciate good sake. Everyone is shocked by this. Yudita thinks Musashi must be crazy. Musashi throws away the sake cup and tells Seijiro that when the great warrior Seijiro is before him, how can he leave after just accepting sake? Matahachi thinks, who is this person? Seijiro tells Musashi he's being arrogant. It seems all he can do is talk big. Musashi kneels before him. He says he's ready to stake his life on this battle. Seijiro is also ready to do the same. Matahachi listens to all this from outside. He says whoever the samurai is, he's impressed Matahachi with how he's fighting Yoshioka School alone. This samurai has given Matahachi new spirit. Matahachi says he was once like that. With just a single spear, he had charged into Sekigahara's battle. He thinks it's not too late. He can still make a name for himself. Matahachi can't see inside, but he knows the samurai hasn't been killed yet. He thinks about how he abandoned his friend and ran away when his friend went to fight all those bandits alone, just like the samurai is fighting Yoshioka School alone today. He couldn't do anything because he had no sword. His mind had stopped working. He let his friend die and lived on himself. And what a life with nothing in it. Seeing Musashi's actions, Seijiro picks up a wooden sword and strikes it against the wall. The sword sticks straight into the wall. Seijiro sits on the ground and starts licking the fallen sake. He says Musashi shouldn't have wasted such good sake. Then Densha Kairo steps forward and says Yoshioka School's head shouldn't be so soft. He says he'll kill this country bumpkin with a single attack. That's Yoshioka's way. Musashi says to Denshikaido that he wants to defeat the masters one by one. He's not saying he's stronger than Seijiro. Yudita thinks once Denshikaido gets angry, Musashi is finished. Musashi, thinking about his forehead, says he'll cut his head off. And then we discover that Seijiro has cut exactly where Denshikaido was planning to cut Musashi's forehead.